I want to share with you one of my favorite nighttime skincare routines when I'm looking to have that super intense glow, glass skin, honey skin, glazed donut skin, whatever you want to call it, on the evenings that I'm not using a retinol product. I don't just want something that's going to make me look super glowy. I also want super potent anti-aging ingredients. Since I'm almost 50 years old here in a few weeks, I want products that are going to go to town and work on my fine lines and wrinkles. I want products that are going to help with my skin texture, the plumpness and the firmness of my skin, to help prevent sagginess. And almost all of my skincare routines, I have something in it that I like to use that's going to help with hyperpigmentation and melasma. I have melasma. It's more of a hormonal type of hyperpigmentation for me. I've had it for probably 20 years now. Sometimes it's lighter, sometimes it's darker, but I have to constantly maintain and try to keep it under control with my skincare products. I also have more normal to oily skin, and I also am prone to acne breakouts. I have a couple of them right here on the sides of my face. And I'm pretty sure it's from holding my hand on my face while I was reading on my phone the other day, which I try not to touch my face when my hands aren't clean, but it's a good reminder to not touch my face with dirty hands. Now, I'm sharing with you what I do in the evening, but you could actually do this exact skincare routine in the morning as well. Just use your favorite sunscreen at the end of the routine. So like I said, this is a skincare routine that I like to use on the nights I'm not using my retinol product. And I don't use retinol every single night because I use about 2 to 3 nights a week this retinol right here. This is one of the newest, most innovative products on the market that I have ever tried. This has been out for only about 6 months, but I think there's only one store that is an authorized retailer of this exact product, and I will link everything down below that I talk about. But this is by the brand Truth Treatment Systems. This is their newest 5% retinol serum. This is different than their original 5% gel. This one is still that intense 5% concentration, but it is extremely gentle. It's got like a slow release type of technology in it. This one seems to penetrate a lot deeper into my skin than the gel. I still love their retinol gel, but this retinol serum is pretty much the most potent concentration that you can get over the counter without a prescription. So you might say, well, then why not just get the prescription strength, the tretinoin that you can get with a prescription from your dermatologist? I used to use prescription strength Retin-A for probably 20 years, and while I do love the results that I got from it, I always had so much irritation. I never knew from one day to the next if, my skin was gonna tolerate it or not. I had, redness, flakiness. I could not stand all of that loose, flaky skin that sometimes I would get, and you could see it under your makeup. So for me, even though I used it for so many years and I do enjoy the benefits I got from it, it's like the side effects kind of were worse than the benefits that I received from it. So for me, being able to use an over-the-counter retinol that's such a high strength, and I still get the exact same benefits that I did from my prescription strength, but I don't have any irritation whatsoever with this. This is a holy grail product. I'll never be without it, but I only use it about 2 to 3 nights a week. And by the way, this is a very pricey product. Like when I first saw the price on it, I was like, oh my goodness. However, I've had this for 6 months and I can't see through the bottle because it's this dark, black glass bottle, but it still feels very heavy as it did when I first got it. So really quickly, if you own this or you were thinking about getting this, I actually did the calculations one day. And since you only use 2 drops, not dropperfuls, it's 1, 2. That's it. 2 drops each time you use it. And so with me using it 2 to 3 times a week, because that's all you need, you're gonna get amazing benefits as if you were using something nightly. But for me using this 2 to 3 nights a week, this is actually gonna last me over 2 years. Even though this is really pricey up front, over time, this actually saves me a ton more money than if I were buying even a retinol product at Walmart, or Walgreens. Even if some of those are 30, 40 bucks and they last you a month or 2 months, this will last me over 2 years. So over time, this is actually more cost effective, which I didn't realize that when I first got it. But this video is not about how amazing this retinol is. I have other videos on why I absolutely love this and how amazing it has been for transforming my skin. But I wanted to share with you another skincare routine, what I might use on a night that I am not using this retinol. So every evening I always do a double cleanse. I don't don't spend a ton of money on cleansers. You know, I do buy some skincare products that are pricey. For example, that Truth Treatment's Retinol serum, that's really pricey. I like to save money on moisturizers, cleansers, hydrators, but I usually will invest a little bit more in a treatment product, especially a really good treatment product. You know, if I'm sharing a retinol product or a vitamin C serum and it's not in your budget, just substitute that step for a different retinol or vitamin C that is in your budget. You don't have to use these exact products that I'm using. These are just what work really, really well for me. So as I'm holding these up, these are the 2 cleansers that I already used to cleanse my skin. You don't have to use both cleansers, but for me, since I wear makeup or I wear a lot of sunscreen, I always like to do an oil cleanser first. This is a holy grail. This is by the brand DHC. This is their deep cleansing oil. I have used this now for, golly, 3 or 4 years. It's ride or die. Like, I am never ever without this. I do test other cleansing balms, cleansing oils, but you know what? For me, nothing is compared to this. I absolutely love it. It takes off everything. Waterproof makeup, waterproof sunscreen. I mean, it takes it all off, but it rinses clean. It doesn't leave an oily film on my skin. But then I always like to go in afterwards with a water-based cleanser. You could actually just skip the cleansing oil and just use your regular face cleanser twice. That's what I used to do before I discovered oil cleansers 4 or 5 years ago. But this is one of my favorites. It's very affordable. This is the CeraVe Foaming Face Cleanser. This is just one that I've used for 10 years. I don't even know however long it's been around. But as with all the CeraVe products, it also has the niacinamide, the ceramides. It's just a really good, affordable cleanser. But again, use whatever cleanser works best for your skin. This is just what I used for my skin. In my skincare routines, I always like to put on a little bit of my City Lips. Sometimes I do it right after I cleanse my face. Other times I do it at the very end of my routine. It just depends on what my lips are feeling like. But tonight, my lips were feeling dry, so I put a little bit of this on right away. This is a lip plumper. For me, there's no burning whatsoever. I've used this for probably 10 years, long before I had YouTube, long before anyone on, you know, social media started raving about it. This is a holy grail. If you watch my channel, it's no secret. I am obsessed with City Lips, not just because of the slight plumping that it gives my lips, but this is very nourishing. It has beautiful ingredients, hyaluronic acid, peptides that not only help plump up my lips and kind of fill in those little wrinkles, but for me, there's zero burning or stinging. Every other lip plumper I've tried on the market irritates my lips. They burn, they sting. There's not ingredients like that in here. Like, you know, there's not like hot pepper and cinnamon and things like that in this that's gonna cause irritation to my lips. I love this also because it is so thick and rich, and it kind of just locks in all the moisture. That's why a lot of times I will do my skincare first, get my skincare on my lips as well, and then I put my City Lips over top, and it kind of just seals all that in. And then when I go to sleep and wake up the next day, my lips are super soft, they're healthy, they're pillowy soft, no crusties or flakies. It's just an all-around amazing product. I keep one in my purse, one in my makeup bag, one on my skincare counter. This is one product I am never without. If you've been with my channel long enough, then you will know I love super glowy skin, but not greasy skin. Because like I said, this is a skincare routine you could do in the morning before you put on your makeup, but I'm just doing it on an evening that I'm not using my retinol. So I don't want to have goopy, gloppy skincare and greasy skincare to get the glow. I want to have my skin looking glowy because it's lit from within, because it's super healthy, and because of the lightweight, really potent products that I use. So one of the products that I like to use is this exfoliator from the brand Glow Biotics. This is their probiotic brightening and refining layering solution. This has as the second ingredient, this has lactic acid in it, which is a beautiful alpha hydroxy acid that's a little more gentle than the glycolic acid, but it still works really, really well to give you that nice, beautiful glow. One of my favorite ingredients for having melasma is lactic acid to use as an exfoliator. If you have melasma, actual melasma, you might want to reconsider using products that have a high amount of glycolic acid, because glycolic, I'm not saying glycolic's bad, I do like glycolic acid, but not ones that are super potent glycolic products if you have melasma, because what that can do is it can cause like little hot spots, because the glycolic acid is a little bit smaller molecule, so it can get down a little bit deeper than say a lactic or a mandelic acid. So if you ever use an exfoliating product and you're like, oh my gosh, it's burning, it's tingling, that's not often a good sign, especially if your face starts getting really red. That doesn't mean it's working better. So if you have melasma, that can actually cause inflammation in your skin, and inflammation triggers those melanocytes to get really, really angry, and then you might notice, not right away, but within the next couple weeks, you're wondering, why the heck is my melasma so dark? It very well could be some skincare that you were using, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. So just look at your skincare products, know the ingredients, know what is best for your skin type. So for me, I pretty much avoid products that are gonna make my skin burn and turn red. Like, that's not a good thing for my skin. And then it also has some azelaic acid, which is another ingredient that is amazing if you have hyperpigmentation, and especially if you have melasma. Azelaic acid is pretty much great for anyone. You can layer it with just about anything. Azelaic acid is also really nice if you have rosacea or perhaps you have acne. It's just good for so many different skin conditions. This also has fermented ingredients in it, and I love skincare that has fermented ingredients in it because it's beautiful for brightening my skin. A lot of my skincare products that I use are really, really good to help brighten the skin, because when your skin is brighter, your skin looks like you have that lit from within glow. You'll look like you have a ring light on your skin all day long, even when you don't. Full disclaimer, I am using this little ring light because the place that we're staying is right on the beach, and this room that I'm in is completely surrounded by windows except for this back side. So when I open these windows, I basically look like Casper the Ghost. I am completely blurred out. So I have to keep all the blinds closed, and then I found a little store that had little ring lights here, so that's what I have to use here. But I show my skin in natural light nonstop on my channel, and of course if you follow me on Instagram, you can see what my skin looks like as well. But who doesn't want super duper bright lit from within skin? Especially if you have hyperpigmentation, it can help fade those spots. This is also good if you have really dry, flaky skin. If you have never tried this exfoliator, but you were looking for one that's not just a lactic acid or not just a glycolic acid, and you want one that has a little bit better ingredients that will kind of do a little bit more for your skin, this is one that I can't believe I didn't try it for so long, and I just started using it 6 months ago, but this is one I will continue to repurchase. It is fantastic. Now I want to add some type of a hydration. One of my favorite hydrators is not just going to be a plain water. This is another one that has fermented ingredients in it. This is by the brand Neogen. This is their Real Ferment Micro Essence, and this has 93% fermented ingredients in it. This has been one of my go-to products for probably 3 years now. I have raved about it enough over the past few years. This gives my skin such a bright, beautiful glow. After using this, probably for I'd say about 30 days, I really noticed major brightening in my skin. Now when I use this, you can put this on a cotton pad if you like, or I'll just sprinkle some in my hands and then pat it on my skin. Or what I like to do, I buy these little amber glass, actually I got some that are black glass bottles, and I just pour a little bit of it in here so then I can mist it on my skin, and it just makes it a little bit easier. It absorbs so fast into my skin, plumps it up, but it just gives my skin the most beautiful glow, that lit from within glow. And because I exfoliated first, it allows this to absorb even better. The other thing I love about this essence is even though it's adding a ton of hydration to my skin, it's prepping my skin so that the next skincare product is going to absorb into my skin even better. So the next product I'm going to use is a vitamin C serum, but since I am acne prone, since I have melasma, I don't often like the basic vitamin C serums that you see on the market, even the ones that are super pricey that have the ingredient L-ascorbic acid in it. Those for my skin, they can trigger breakouts, they can trigger burning and irritation, especially you don't want to get them, around the eye area because that's really irritating. So I usually like to use a type of vitamin C called THD ascorbate or tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate, something like that. But we'll just say THD. And the reason I like this type of vitamin C is number one, it never ever irritates my skin. It never ever causes breakouts, but I still get the same intense benefits. Actually, I think I get better benefits with the THD ascorbate than I do with an L-ascorbic, because remember what I said with melasma, if you use products that are irritating to the skin, it can trigger inflammation and irritation, and that melasma will get darker. But I still want to use products that are really potent. I just don't want to use products that are going to cause irritation. This is the Revision Skincare C+ Correcting Complex 30%. This is one of my all-time favorite vitamin C serums. I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, wait a minute, I thought you loved, since you like the Truth Treatments retinol, they're gonna say, I thought you loved the Truth Treatments vitamin C, because Truth Treatments also has a vitamin C serum that is super duper potent that also has this same form of vitamin C, the THD. It's a fat soluble form of vitamin C, so it's able to supposedly go a little bit deeper than the L-ascorbic type vitamin C serums that can kind of just sit on the surface of the skin and then cause some irritation. So yes, obsessed. I absolutely love the vitamin C, the transdermal C serum from Truth Treatments, because I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions on that. But I also love this one because it's the same form of vitamin C. However, there are times where I want to use this one instead of the Truth Treatments one, because I know some people don't like it. Feels oily, the Truth Treatment one. It's not an oil though, but sometimes people use too much of it. You should only use like 2 or 3 little drops and mix that with a mist. But with this, you don't have to mix it with a mist. You can just put it straight onto your skin. However, this is not that oily kind of formula. This is a cream. It's a very lightweight, silky cream. So if you love that form of vitamin C that's in the Truth Treatments transdermal C serum or their C balm, but you don't want that kind of oily feel to it, and you love the benefits of it, if you try this one, I think you're gonna love this one just as much. I was actually looking on their website, some of their before and after pictures. They're really, really impressive of the results that people got with this, but I wanted to quickly read to you some of the results they got in the studies. It says 87% of users reported visibly brighter skin. This also says 94% of users reported an improvement in the evenness in their skin tone. So if you have blotchy skin, that's one of the photos I saw, how blotchy and kind of red the lady's skin was. And the after results after using this product, it showed how even her skin now was. It also says 84% of users reported visibly firmer skin, which I feel like the skincare products I use have really made a remarkable difference in my skin. Like I said, I'll be 50 here in a few weeks. Granted, genes have a lot to do with how our skin looks as we age, and of course our lifestyle and, you know, things that we eat, things like that. But a lot has to do with the skincare that we use on our skin. You know, my skin is really, really firm, and I'm thankful for that. And I haven't hit menopause yet, so who knows what's gonna happen after menopause. I might be coming on the camera complaining about major sagginess, but for now, I do think that my skincare has made a huge difference in my skin. This next step, you don't even have to do, but I'm just sharing what I use tonight. This is an eye cream that I absolutely love. I did a whole video on why this is my holy grail eye cream. I am an eye cream fanatic. Just like lip gloss, eye creams, that's another thing that I buy a ton of because I'm always wanting to test out to find the next best eye cream. This one by Color Science. This is their newest Total Eye cream. This is my holy grail ride or die eye cream. I'm actually trying to use like the teeniest little pump now because since I'm out of the country and I can't repurchase my skincare till I get back to the USA, I don't want to run out of this. It almost makes my eyes look airbrushed. This is gorgeous underneath a concealer, but I love it in the evening because when I wake up the next morning, I can still feel it nice and moisturized and hydrated under my eyes. So if you're looking for a really amazing eye cream, you might want to check this one out, but this is not something that you have to do in your skincare routine. It's just what I like to do every day in mine. So you could really just use your moisturizer if that's what works best for you as an eye cream. This is the moisturizer that I use really often. This is by the brand Vanacream. Don't get confused with the one that's in the tub. This one has different ingredients and this one's a little bit lighter weight, so this one's really beautiful underneath makeup. This one does not have niacinamide in it, so if you have issues with using products with niacinamide, this is one that you might want to look into. But this one has ceramides, this has squalane, this has glycerin, it has hyaluronic acid. This is a beautiful, affordable moisturizer. But what I like to do before I put my moisturizer on is I actually like to take my Neogen Essence, the one that I have in the little spray bottle, and I actually like to mist my face really quickly before I put my moisturizer in, just to give me that little extra burst of hydration and brightening, because by the time I rub the moisturizer in, I mean, my skin is so silky, so soft, so glowy. But that's just a little trick that if you're feeling like your skin's just dry and you're like, man, and my moisturizer is just not cutting it, try to hydrate first before you put your moisturizer on and see if that makes a difference. And then this next step, of course, you don't have to do this, just sharing what I used. I always like to use something on my eyelashes to help them grow or to get thicker. And right now I'm using this one by Revitalash. I rotate with this one, my City Lash, and then I also really like the Neogenesis one when I feel like my lashes are kind of getting sparse and I want them to get a little bit more thicker and kind of bushy. I really like the Neogenesis for that, but when I want them to just get long, this one from Revitalash, their advanced formula, this is amazing. I only use this about 3 nights a week because if I use it nightly, my lashes are like touching up here and rubbing on my sunglasses, and I don't like that. So this is a great, great product. And this, golly, this has lasted me 8 months already because I don't use it that often. So for me, out of all the ones I've tried on the market, this is probably the best one for lengthening my lashes. And then you might have noticed I have a couple little clear, they look like little plastic dots on these pimples here on my face. And you might be thinking, why does she have that on her face? That's what I put on as my last step. This is by Peach Slices, their acne spot dots. What I do when I have a little pimple, especially if I want it to heal faster, I just put these little hydrocolloid patches on. I wipe off where the skincare was around it so they'll stick, and then I just take clean, actually I clean these with alcohol, clean tweezers and peel one of the little stickies off, and then I just gently place it on that pimple so that when I go to sleep and wake up the next day, it'll pretty much be almost healed. This is really great if you will pick at a pimple, like say it's got like dryness on it and you have that little urge to want to pick at that skin. This is a great way if you're just hanging out around the house, you know, watching Netflix or whatever, so that you won't, out of habit, touch your face and accidentally pick, you know, at a healing pimple. These work really great for me. They heal the pimple really fast, but when they're in this stage where the pimple's gone, but it's just healing, it really helps that skin tissue to heal even faster. If you're watching this and you're like, well, I want to know what you use for your retinol nights, and I want to know what you use on your mornings, if you want to see a few different versions of what I do different nights of the week, I'm going to link some of those videos down below if you would like to check those out. And as I mentioned, I am over here in another country. I'm actually in South America, in Punta del Este, Uruguay. My husband and I and his mom, we actually brought her with us. We have been here now since March. Yeah, since March, and we're probably going to be here till August. So I've taken a lot of footage, but I haven't put a lot of it in a video yet. But if you do want to see a little sneak peek of some of the things that we're doing over here and see what this country looks like, in one of my last videos I shared just a quick 2-3 minute makeup routine, and then at the end of the video for maybe 5 or 6 minutes I did kind of like a little travel vlog. If that's something that you're interested in, I'm going to put that video right up here. If you click on this video, just scroll to the end if you don't want to see the 2-minute makeup routine. Scroll to like the last 5 or 6 minutes of the video, and then you'll be able to see this beautiful country that we're in. And thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.